What if the person you know the least is yourself? It sounds strange, doesn't it? You live with yourself every single day. You hear your own thoughts. You make your own choices. So you should know yourself better than anyone else. But the surprising truth is that many of the things you believe about yourself are only stories you've been telling for years. And some of those stories are completely wrong. Maybe you've said, "I'm just not a confident person." Or, "I'm terrible at meeting new people." Or perhaps, "I always give up too easily." These sentences feel true because you've repeated them so many times. But have you ever stopped to ask where they came from? Were they based on facts, or just on a few experiences that stayed in your memory? Here's why this matters. The way you see yourself quietly shapes almost every decision you make. If you believe you're bad at learning languages, you might stop practicing after one difficult conversation. If you think you're not creative, you may never start the project you've been dreaming about. Your picture of yourself becomes a map. And without realizing it, you follow that map every day. The problem is that the map isn't always accurate. Our brains don't work like perfect cameras. They don't record life exactly as it happens. Instead, they build stories. Those stories help us understand the world, but they also leave things out. They focus on certain moments and ignore others. After a while, we stop questioning them. But here's what nobody talks about. You are changing all the time, even when you don't notice it. The person you were 5 years ago made different choices, had different fears, and wanted different things. Yet many people still judge themselves using an old version of who they used to be. Imagine someone who was shy in high school. They avoided speaking in class because they were afraid of making mistakes. Years later, they have a job where they talk to customers every day without any problem. But when someone asks them to give a presentation, they immediately think, "I'm shy." They don't look at who they are today. They look at an old memory. That's the first insight. Your identity often gets stuck in the past. You remember who you were, not who you're becoming. Think about your own life for a second. Does this sound familiar? Is there something you've been telling yourself for years that you haven't tested recently? Maybe you're stronger, calmer, or more capable than you think. The second insight is even more interesting. We often confuse our feelings with facts. Just because you feel something doesn't mean it's true. Picture a woman walking into a party. She feels like everyone is watching her. She worries that people will notice every small mistake she makes. But in reality, most people are thinking about themselves. One person is wondering if they said something silly. Another is checking their phone. Someone else is thinking about work tomorrow. Psychologists sometimes call this the spotlight effect. We feel like a spotlight is shining on us all the time. In reality, everyone else is standing under their own spotlight. They're busy with their own thoughts and worries. This happens in everyday life. You make a small mistake during a meeting and think everyone will remember it forever. You send a message with a typo and imagine people are judging you. Usually, they forget within minutes. Sometimes they don't even notice. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. They build their identity from feelings instead of evidence. I feel nervous, so I must be bad at this. But nervous people can give amazing speeches. They can run successful businesses. They can travel the world. Feeling afraid doesn't tell you what you're capable of doing. Now let's look at the third insight. Other people often see parts of you that you can't see yourself. A young man started helping new employees at work. He thought he was simply answering questions. One day, his manager told him, "You're a natural teacher." He laughed because he had never thought of himself that way. Months later, he began leading training sessions. Eventually, teaching became one of his favorite parts of the job. If nobody had pointed it out, he might never have discovered that side of himself. This happens more often than you think. Your friends may notice that you're patient. Your family may see that you stay calm during difficult situations. Your co-workers may admire your ability to solve problems. These qualities can be invisible to you because they feel normal. You don't notice what comes naturally. So sometimes, getting to know yourself doesn't mean spending more time alone. It means listening carefully when people you trust describe what they see. Here's a counterintuitive idea. Self-awareness isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to question your own assumptions. The people who know themselves best aren't the ones who are always certain. They're the ones who stay curious. Instead of saying, "This is who I am," they ask, "Is this still true?" That simple question leaves room for growth. So what's one thing you can do today? Take a piece of paper and write down one sentence you often say about yourself. Maybe it's, "I'm not disciplined," or "I'm bad with people." Then ask yourself for real evidence. What facts support this belief? What facts go against it? Think about the last year, not your whole life. You may be surprised by what you find. You can also ask someone you trust one simple question: what's one strength you think I don't see in myself? Don't argue with the answer. Just listen. You don't have to believe it immediately. Just let the idea stay with you for a while. The truth is that getting to know yourself isn't something you finish. It's something you keep doing. Every experience teaches you something new. Every challenge reveals another part of your character. Every mistake gives you another chance to see yourself more clearly. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "That's just the way I am," pause for a moment. Maybe you're right. But maybe you're looking at an old picture instead of the person standing here today. And if that's true, then the most exciting discovery of your life may still be waiting inside you.